Hi, it's the mini painting noob here, and on this day, the eve of getting my 100th subscriber, I'm going to do something a little special. We're going to be painting the last figure for the board game, the Grimm Forest. This is the final piece of the puzzle, the last thing that I need to paint. So we'll get this one done. It should be a really quick paint. This figure here is exactly what speed paint was designed for. Lots of creases and crevices and little areas for the paint to go and settle into and shade. So this is going to be a really fun paint. We've got our paint here selected, already pre-shaken and ready to go, so it should be nice and quick. And like I said, I'm on 99 subscribers. You could be that lucky 100. So smash the like button if you like this video, and hit that subscribe button. You might be the 100th subscriber. So let's start painting. So to start with, I've got a little ribbon. So this is a book on a pedestal. We've got some indented text here, and there's a little page ribbon here at the back. So I'm going to be doing that slaughter red, because we want a nice bright red ribbon. So let's get a drop out. Not going to need much. Alright, load up that brush. Okay, I'm going to want to be very careful. I want this to be quite a fast video, and if I make any mistakes, that's just going to slow the whole thing down. So let's see if I can do this relatively quickly. I'm going to watch where that point's going and make sure that I'm not going over any lines. Getting in this little recess here is going to be tricky. It's a little bit hidden away there. I have another one underneath here. My hands still are not very steady. Still in recovery from spinal surgery, so I'm just sort of getting back into painting, seeing what I can handle. And but yeah, I'm noticing my channel is getting a little bit of buzz, and getting several subscribers every day. And so for this 100th, I want to do something special, and let's see if we can finish this job off. Gone over the lines just a wee bit, nothing too major. I will go over with my little cleanup brush and just suck up any excess. I want this to be super clean. So I think the cleaner you can paint, the faster speed paint is particularly with models that have multiple colours. So if you're really steady with your hands and have really good hand-eye coordination, that one and done approach is going to work for you well. For me, I'm just a little bit slower, and that's fine. I'm happy with slow, if you guys don't mind a little bit of slow. So nearly 5 minutes in, you guys will be well aware by now. My video format is you know, sort of more live stream, no cuts or edits, so what I do is what you see. I'm trying to get point back on my brush now, it's not pointing up. I might change, yeah, I'm going to change my brush and get a new one. But before I do that, I'm just going to go around and see here if I can just blend some of this excess red. I've got a couple of blotches. Just want to get these down. So it's always good with this speed paint to fix up any mistakes straight away, because it just wipes off with a damp brush. So easier to just do that now than later. There's a little bit more I could do in here. Just get a new brush. This brush isn't very good either with the point on it. My brush is not behaving tonight. Sorry, it's just taking me a little bit to get one with a decent point. There we go, that's better. Alright, just want to go in here. Okay, that'll do. Alright, let's call the red done. Let's wash that off. And moving to coloured bones. We're going to use this for the pages. Two drops is probably plenty, but 4 came out. That's how it goes. So I've moved over to a number 1 sable. And at the moment we'll just lather it on. But at some point I'm going to need to look at control rather than quantity of paint. So I'm really wanting to get lots on the top of the book, so we can get all of these recessed handwritings really popping. And this is what I'm hoping the speed paint will do for me in a jiffy. And then I'll just go around the edges. And I could do, you know, gold leaf or something like that, or red edges, but I'm just going to go with pallid bone and keep it simple. The colour for the binding of the book is darker than this one, so I'm not too worried about the edges. I don't think the colour will react too much. I'll just suck up some of this excess paint and put it onto the sides. And I need to be careful around this red, make sure I don't pick up any red and move it elsewhere. up that excess again in the crease of the book and just moving it. I think I've picked up a little bit of red, so we'll wipe off the brush. Alrighty. So that is what we've got so far. Just give this just a little once over again. Be careful when you're doing this. If you do it too soon, if you do it too late, the paint might have already started drying. And I wonder if a stippled effect like this will be cool. It's that old homemade paper look. Yeah, there we go. Let's go with that. Sorry, what I was saying was, if you leave the paint to dry and then go over it too soon, it will lift. So yeah, going over that again was a little bit of a risk. Just a warning. Alright, next colour is exciting because I think this is the first time I've used this particular colour, Purple Alchemy. Apart from painting the bottle cap. So here we go, Purple Alchemy. I think a purple bound magic book would be very cool to have, so let's go with that. A few drops of that out. Alright, just adjusting my glasses so I can see. There we go. And alright, should do the slow and steady around the edges first. I'll try and get positioned so you can see all of this. Oh, it does have these corners, so I had the option as well. The book corners themselves could be gold, or like another colour at least. But I think on that purple, there's not much surface area that you can see from the top and the sides, so I want that purple to stand out more, so I'm just going to go with one colour for the binding. And we'll just focus on getting the top and the sides right, and then we'll come in on the underneath. Alright, a bit more paint. So yeah, 100 subscribers, it's really cool. I'm really enjoying making these videos, and the fact that you guys are interested in seeing them is really, really exciting. So thank you for subscribing, thank you for your likes and comments. Those are always really good to see. That colour is thinning out a bit, so I'll load up a bit more paint. Make sure I've got that really nice vibrant colour on there. Whoopsie, over the edge, never mind. Will people notice? Probably not. Yeah, it's probably small enough to deal with. I think getting this colour off at this point would be quite a challenge. But we can always try to not do that kind of thing again. Alright, difficult angle right now. So I'm going to get into the side by the ribbon. Okay, good. Now it looks like I've got a bit of an excess of paint in this corner, so just want to go over it with my just damp brush here. And just suck that up. I'll go over with my colour brush again and smooth it out. Okay. Alright, so that is the colour of my book. Now we've got the underside of the book, so this might not be very exciting for you guys to see me paint, but I would like to apply some colour underneath as well. So this figure was I'd call it a heavy zenithal. Was it a heavy? Yeah, it was fairly heavy zenithal. So it was, which I mean by that is, it was a lot of black and not as much white. And so places like underneath here are a lot darker, like quite a lot darker. And so they might not actually show up much of the colour, or the colour might show up quite different. But that's alright, we just want to get it coloured in. Yeah, that didn't take long. Done. Alright, so that is the bookbinding finished. So this guy's looking 1,000,000% already. I like that. So, let's wipe that brush off. So the next colour I've got is Hardened Leather. And it's not for what you think it's for, because I've done the leather already. I quite like this colour for wood. So a light coloured timber. I could, oopsie, let's shift that back. So I could use dark wood, but I find that quite dark. And in this instance, I want the figure to be a bit brighter than that. I think that might be just a little bit too dark for what this, for the area that I'm painting. So let's go with the hardened leather. You can see the difference here. So I'm wanting more of this orange brown rather than the dark brown. So let's grab a few drops of that out. Finding hardened leather goes on almost all of my minis, so if there was a single speed paint colour that you needed to buy or wanted to buy to try out, I would recommend hardened leather as your first one if you were just going to buy one. I mean, there's a lot of other colours that are just fantastic, but if we're talking about, you know, getting into starting a set and you just wanted to try one out to see if it was for you, I'd go hardened leather, and you'd be using it on all of your belts and straps and bags, and yeah, it's got a wide you know, wood, timbers, trees, yeah, it's got a wide usage. A lot of bubbles. I'll come back over that one in a minute. Then we'll come under here, so we can do all four sides of this. So I figure that this marble column would have an intricately carved timber, I don't know what it is, like a pulpit type thing, right? So a marble column, timber frame, and then you pop your book on that. So that's what I'm going for. Okay, now before I do that last side, I want to have a look at the front again. I feel like that didn't apply very well. I don't want it to dry too fast, so I'm just going to go over it again. Just make sure that I'm getting it in all those crevices there. Okay, good. And now the last side. So once this figure's done, I am planning a show and tell with probably a couple of videos going through what I have done with the Grimm Forest figures. It will probably form the first video being more of a speed paint review and what I think of speed paint when painting a board game, and then a second video which will go into more detail of each figure, the colours that were used, that kind of thing. So probably a shorter review video and then a full-on what I did to document that whole thing. So we've got one more colour to go. We're going to do Runic Grey for the pillar. So I like this a lot better than Holy White. It's like a light blue grey, and I want to give it a go. I used it yesterday on my cave troll. So if you want to see what it looks like dry. So we have Mr. Cave Troll here. So I've done a bit of extra work on him since the video. You can see all of this light grey here is the Runic Grey. And that looks really nice next to the dark tones of the other greys. I want to see what it looks like on a light model. So let's give that a test. Let's see what we get. So it's got some edge work to do, so I'm always extra careful. Don't want to get colour bleed into other areas. And then once that's done, basically we can lather it on. So I might go around the top 4 sides first and just get all of that edge work done. This will be a good test as well, because it's a very flat curved surface. This one here, so how it reacts to me just streaking this paint across. What's that going to look like versus this kind of a surface where it's a scroll pattern, and so it's going to be settling into the recesses. Alright, that is all of the edge work done, so now we can go to town, make sure we get everything painted. In fact, I might change my brush, because this is more of a detail work brush for when I'm doing lines. Changes in colours between areas, so I'll give that just a quick wash off. And let's come in with, how about Army Painter's own monster brush. So this is the brush that you'll get if you buy either of the sets. Not this particular one, because I just bought this from my local gaming store, so there might be slight differences in batches. But this is the size brush that you get with the Speedpaint kit. So it's going to hold the right amount of paint, and it does have a nice point on it, so you should be able to do edging just fine. I mean, the first models that I painted, I only owned one brush, and it was this one, and it does the job just fine. I've since bought more brushes, so I can have a bit more variety, get a bit more quality in my work with lines and edges. But this paint, you can see when you're just wanting to slap on a colour and move it around and sort of massage it into all those textures, this is the brush that you need. I need some more paint here because that's quite a large area. So it's just some more runic grey onto the mat here. And we're just going to really layer this on. Really load up that brush, not worrying about clearing the tip out. Just going to wipe it straight on. And then move it around. So I also started buying new brushes because my monster brush, the tip started, it has like a bit of a fold in it now, like it's a bit bent. It's probably because of, how much massaging and moving around and, all of this backwards and forwards that I was doing. it ended up getting quite a bit of a bend in it, and I'm trying to figure out how to solve that problem, but in the meantime I bought a whole bunch of extra brushes so I can sort of test them out and see what happens. So now my nice new expensive sable brushes, they have a different issue when they're not forming a point anymore. So now I've got to solve that problem. So yeah, if it's not one thing, it's something else. Just make sure we get some nice shading all the way around this figure. I kind of want to go back over these scrolls, but I think it's too late. They're partially dry. So if I go over these now, hang on a second, I've got a son to deal with about a remote control car. I'll charge the car in a minute, mate. I'm just recording a video.
Okay, it's not needs to be charged, I just want it.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be charged, you just want to charge it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Super awesome.
I think it's almost gonna need to be
It
charged.
almost needs to be charged. Okay, alright. Anyway, that was my 6-year-old. It was his birthday today. So he was 5 when you saw him last. He painted that little dinosaur. So he's painted a few more since then that I've filmed but haven't put up. They sort of didn't feel like they were. I was trying some new camera angles and stuff. It was interesting, sort of testing on somebody else. And I didn't feel they were YouTube ready, so yeah, so they won't be going up. He's got a couple more dinosaurs to do though, so maybe the next ones. We'll see. Alright, I think I should probably stop messing with this and call it done. Yeah, so that was 30 minutes to paint, and that was 5 colours. 30 minutes, 5 colours. Is that speed painting? I don't know. I've got no experience other than this. Let me know in the comments, how long would this take you to paint with regular acrylics to get the same level of shading and detail? Would you just go over some thinned acrylics and then apply a wash over the whole thing? What would be your method to get this painted if speed paint wasn't invented? What do you think of my colour choices? Did I do an alright job? Yeah, let me know. And yeah, thank you again. I'm expecting to hit that 100 subscriber mark this evening, and hopefully you were the one that tipped that balance. So yeah, thank you again, and yeah, the next couple of videos that you'll see from me will be the full review of speed paint with the full set of the Grimm Forest characters revealed and how I painted them, and then we'll move on to the full review for how I painted Shadows over Camelot and all of the knights, etc. Once I've cleared all of that, we're on to Fallout and Clank. So a lot of minis to paint, so you'll be seeing me for a long time yet. Give this video a like, subscribe, smash me over that 100 limit, and yeah, we'll see you in another one. Bye.